Hey, we're back with the Lego City Fair here, and this is going to be a video showing you about how all the rides work, just as we said we were going to do a couple weeks ago, showing you how the gears and everything work on them, how we got the motors hooked up, and then what we use to control them. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how we actually control all of the rides. So for all of these rides that are on the fair right now, we actually use these little power supply containers here, and these are not battery powered like most of Lego's controllers and packs and all of that now for motor functions and all of that. These are actually, you plug into the wall and you have wall power, so that's a little more preferable for rides like this where they can be running for a long time. You don't have to worry about changing batteries. As long as you have a wall outlet, you're fine, you can control them. So for this, you can see here, all you have to do is just turn the dial to whatever speed you wanted at. And for this, you can also see that this dial does not just control the roller coaster, it's also hooked up to the ride behind the roller coaster in the background there. And that's also good about these, that you can hook up more than one ride to one and not have to worry about running out of power too quickly or anything like that. So the first ride I'm going to talk about is the roller coaster, and the key to a roller coaster is having a hill that the carts can climb and then go down the slope and then ride it around the loop and get back to the hill and continue the ride. So in order to do that, we have a chain here that loops around the whole hill, goes up to the top, and then it comes around. You can see it in the bottom underneath the tracks here. It comes around and it just keeps on this loop here, and then every roller coaster cart has a special little piece on the bottom of it that you can see. It has the little parts of it there that will hook into the track or the chain, and then once you turn it on, it can just ride the chain up and then it'll just go on the loop, and then as it goes around the track it gets back down to the bottom and it just starts back up again. And what's nice about this coaster is that you can have more than one cart going at a time. You can even have up to 3 before it really gets kind of too busy and doesn't really look too right. So here you can see the motor mechanism of the roller coaster. You can see that there's a small motor just anchored in right here. It's attached to the blocks, and then it's got a little gear that attaches just to a larger gear, and there's a little connection in between that runs in here, and there's also a gear inside the tracks behind this one that's attached to the chain that's on the actual coaster itself, and that is what drives the whole chain to just go. So you can see here how that all runs. And you can just carry all of that, and that's how we got the roller coaster to run. So for the airplane ride, you can see that if you move one of these airplanes out of the way, you can see the large engine or motor that's in the middle of it there, and that powers this drive shaft that goes all the way up to the top and then spins the whole mechanism. And then you can see the airplanes, they can kind of come out a little bit and swing around. So when this is spinning fast enough, these will actually swing out with it, and they'll actually swing around like they're flying. So if we move back just a little bit, and I can turn that on and show that. You can see how that works. That is about how fast it has to spin just to keep it from hitting itself or anything else. And you also see that it's wired to the ride right next to it, which we'll talk about in a second. So this little ride back here next to the go-karts and the airplanes is a little kind of a mixer teacup kind of ride that you'd see at amusement parks. So you have the ability to have a double spin here. So this right here will spin, and you can also see as I'm spinning this, all the little carts on it will also spin independently. And in order to do that, there had to be 2 motors in the back to power, because otherwise one motor just wasn't able to power both of those spinning actions at the same time. So I could turn that on also real quick just to show you the action of that. So you can see them both spinning at the same time, and also again you can see the planes are going by because they're on the same wire. So you can get a little look at how that kind of works. And then we can move on to everybody's favorite ride, the go-karts. And I know everybody wants to know how they work, and I'm gonna tell you, it's magic. That's all you need to know. It's just magic. So just kidding, if you look up the box in the middle of the go-kart area, you can see underneath of it that there is quite the little contraption going on in there. This is just a belt that goes around the loop here. You can see on all the corners it's just looped in. And on each one of these little parts here is a magnet. And then on every single cart is also a magnet. So as you can see, they connect. As they go around the top, the magnets are powerful enough to go through the little sheet of Lego that's there and just kind of drag the carts around also. That's why you kind of get this track mark around it. You can see the dragging lines of the magnets that's gone through there. That's really the big secret of how the go-karts magically drive themselves around the track. So for the pirate ship ride, you can see there's just a motor mounted off to the side here, and then there's a gears that come through the wall there that attach to this kind of drive shaft, I guess you could call it, that goes up to the top of the ride, and then that will kind of spin around as the pirate ship moves. So we can turn it on real quick and give you a look at how that all runs, so you can see how that goes. So the second to last ride we'll talk about is the Ferris wheel that's over in the corner. And it runs a little bit differently than the new Ferris wheel Lego just brought out. That new Ferris wheel runs, the motor's based in the bottom, and then on the support posts there are little wheels that are attached to it through some drive shafts, and that drives the Ferris wheel around as those wheels turn and attached to the motor. This one, the motor is mounted in the middle here, and it's got this little gearbox system that all helps drive it. So as you can see, you can turn it on, and you can see all of this in here moving, and that's all how this Ferris wheel drives. So the last ride we're going to talk about today is the Haunted Castle. And to get to see this, all you have to do is just take the roof off real quick. You can see it's got a modular design to it. And then if you look on the inside, you can see it has got a system over here. It's got a motor in the top here, gears that go down and then drive this little chain that goes around. And then all of these carts are attached to the chain. So if you turn it on, you can see that. And you can also see the lights that go on the side of it there. So that's when it's, the top of it's on and everything, kind of adds to that little haunted house experience if us. People are driving around the carts, and then there's flashing lights and everything going on as they're doing that. This has been our video explaining how we got the fair rides to run and all of that. If you like this video, let us know what you think, give us a like, and if you haven't actually seen the original fair video of everything just running and just explaining what's going on, you can check that out, the link will be in the description. Other than that, thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next video.